In addition to the illustrated IT hardware software cost, you will also incur additional cost for buying multiple fragmented apps. Multiple apps also incur additional remuneration cost for manually double handling of data in each non-integrated app. With your current IT structure, you will also incur CAPEX, OPEX cost for program implementation, customization, training, ongoing support, additional features development, conversion to existing program to newer technologies, exit fees if lock-in contract is terminated. Your financial statement may not be showing all mentioned losses due to the continuation of all these IT hardware, software, and double handling of same data in multiple apps. I think it may be costing you greater than $2,000 per month per staff. Instead of using an expensive IT network, I propose the all-in-one OMS, which covers requirements from several international standards for tests, inspections, and processes, expectations from the local accreditation body, several requirements for compliance with NATA, ISO 17025, 17020, pressure equipment regulatory body, local taxation rules and workplace IR legislation. OMS standardizes and automates mundane repetitive business processes, reduce dependency on human for non-chargeable activities, increase repeat work by re-establishing client relationship via digital automation, provide instant visibility of business performance, improve quality, productivity and profit for your business. This is a comprehensive menu of in-depth features included in the OMS. I am unable to cover items in today's 1-hour session, but I shall show you highlights of some of the automations that can save your company time, cost and increase productivity and profit. This is an example indicating how many fragmented apps you may need to pay for covering several features from the OMS. It will take me hours to demonstrate comparison of all features. This is a small sample of research I conducted to compare some of the productivity features. Also, several upcoming automation features are included in the OMS monthly subscription. Most importantly, if you need anything additional which is common to the industry, then I will develop that at no cost to you. Nobody offers all these features in one program, except the following experts. Some of them are subject matter experts and others have technology expertise in security, databases, program languages, interfaces. OMS includes their developers' contact details within the program because we want to save your time. You can consider me as OM Assist, like your secretary, actually virtual assistant. Here is a glimpse of what I can do for you. I can monitor and display current status of reports, records, and jobs, from commencement to invoicing. I can monitor, display and automatically email monthly report for all branches revealing statistics and activities of your all business development managers. And about throughput time of all records, reports and invoices for all branches. An analysis of the customer survey for your staff and all branches automatically. I attempt to obtain feedback periodically from customers who haven't given you work in the prior 12-month period. I monitor and remind nominated staff about all your company's important management, quality, safety and compliance events. I chase your nominated personnel until they renew or close due events. My analytics capability can provide you sales data per test inspection process classification level, per branch section, per business sector, per branch, state-wise, per postcode, per staff, client-wise, and several other if need microanalysis. Here is a typical view of the project jobs page, wherein you can action almost all activities within the single UI, without a need to navigate through different web pages. I don't think you will find anybody who can beat my capabilities. This real-time 3 minutes video shall show the speed of data capture and instant reports. OMS mandates users to complete JSA when relevant prompt to record hazards, risks and preventive actions before commencing work for all site jobs. I display here most data from project job. Your staff need to review, read special instructions, and declare work scope agreement and any conflict of interest to satisfy auditors. Here I display technical data, standards and specifications. In this section, I display fields for capturing all essential instruments required as per the standard. Mostly testers need to only select asset numbers. I save testers time by displaying everything else about the asset. To eliminate NCRs, I display only those asset numbers which are current in calibration, are verified or checked in annual inventory. Testers can enter asset data for multiple dates, different shifts or several personnel. For most data fields, I display terminologies from reference library built as per standards by technical experts. Testers can simply select instead, wasting time in typing. Here I display fields to capture essential data about different techniques and technical requirements specified by the standard. Depending on the standard, I display only relevant data, sketches, reference tables to guide your inexperienced or infrequent testers. Once again, testers simply need to select standard terminologies to eliminate all potential NCRs. I won't allow testers to proceed until they complete all fields. Here testers need to enter items identification data. They can select discretionary columns to manually enter or import from another test record or from the uploaded spreadsheets at the project job level. After importing, testers simply need to enter discontinuities, if detected, and select result for each row. I also validate data for duplication when they copy rows. This table is configured as per standards requirement, which your competent person can customize to the client requirements level. Although I display standard terminologies in several input boxes, testers need to enter data in identification fields. Clicking button will open camera app on your tablet or a smartphone. Include test items photos, or import from your computer or from another completed record. Rename caption, change their order, exclude from a report. You can import multiple photos at once. Similarly, upload external documents, client drawings, extract from a standard or specification. I display original file name, but you can rename them or exclude from a report. Here testers can capture duration of activities and related cost. If already recorded, then tester can refer to the other record number. After completing fields, the tester can display raw data and my completed draft report to your client. If the client is satisfied, then the tester can take client signature as a proof of work for invoice purpose. As per client needs, OMs automatically include personnel certificates. OMS is all about automation and assisting radiographers. Depending on the standard, OMS displays setup plans. In this example, the test standard is AS2177. Hence, OMS is displaying only relevant setup plans in a tab for AS2177. You can zoom in to enlarge the image or view requirements for sensitivity for various thicknesses. OMS includes for AS1554 series, AS4037, AS2885 Part 2. OMS also displays permitted film types for these standards. When your setup is not as per the standard, then you can also upload an image of your setup for your test records purpose. When testing for multiple standards, you can also manually select setup plans for other standards. And here is another example of how I save time for your company by calculating and displaying exposure in milliamps or Curie seconds to comply with the requirements of AS2177. I display all essential data for IQI as per the standard after your staff has entered the asset number. Similarly, I display all essential data for transducers as per the standard. In all input boxes, your staff just need to enter their asset number. I do the remaining work for them. I don't give a chance to your auditor or a proficiency provider to issue you an NCR. I have gone to the depth of including every possible safety scenario while process mapping in the pressure testing to eliminate human injury or tank implosion and thus reduce liability for your company. I provide full revision control to comply with ISO 17025 while providing you flexibility to complete work efficiently by displaying everything you need to complete a project job within the same page. Here, your staff can view connected procedure, quotation for your client generated within the OMS, purchase order from your client, email communication with your client, client provided specification. You can continue partially completed test inspection records, review each completed section, or view all data at a glance, or preview PDF report before signing. As I also do data validation, I display reports ready to sign. You can sign a report with a single click. After signing, I change status to signed. If essential for any corrections, you can unsign until the report is not emailed to the client. Download records or reports, all marked appropriately as draft watermarked before signing, or superseded after revising, automatically display sequential revision number for revised records or reports to comply with ISO 17025. At a click, you can email report using your staff email ID. All reports are identified as draft or revised as per its status. For some reason, if you choose to use external email program to send reports, then as a document control system, you can record here. For some genuine reason, you can also discard a record at any stage after entering reason for discard. I display discard numbers to maintain sequential numbers. There is no delete button for compliance purpose. At a glance, you can view when and who signed the report, emailed, discarded or revised. If the report is already emailed to the client, then you can revise. I take care of revision control. As a precaution, I display status as revised and then disable revise button. I also hide email button so that your staff won't inadvertently email superseded report. If essential, they can download an email. I record all data changes in revised records to comply with ISO 17025. If your client doesn't want a report, single click will remove this item from your live dashboard. You can copy records if your client wants multiple reports, separately for each batch item. From here, you can visit other test methods within the same project job. You can combine multiple reports into a single report, download or email at a click. You can invoice the job anytime. I verify and display any incomplete work or non-emailed reports before you add invoicing line items. If your client don't pay your bill, then you can revoke issued reports and publish on your website, releasing you from liability, which often results in you getting paid. I save your staff on-site data entry time by automatically pre-filling most data. After they reach section 1, I display special instructions from your client's company, or a specific site address, or from a specific client contact for whom this job is being executed or for that specific job. After they clicked understood, they can review all client-related data, which is retrieved from the project job information. If they are an approved tester inspector, then their name also appears automatically. If they are not, then they shall select from the list wherein I display only approved personnel to prevent NCR. As everything else is pre-filled, you only need to click on Work Scope Agreement or Variation and declare any conflict of interest as per ISO 17025. Once again, I display everything pre-filled in this section. They only need to select procedure in this section, which I shall be automating in the near future. Here I specify instrument names as specified by relevant test inspection standards. You just need to select your asset number from the list wherein I display only calibrated verified instruments to prevent NCR. After their selection, I display all necessary equipment details as required by standards. You can add multiple forms to capture instrument data for multiple days, shifts, or different personnel. I display essential fields required by the standard. I pre-fill most data based on commonly used techniques, retrieved from reference libraries, which are built-in based on standards requirements and terminologies. You can navigate through different sections by clicking here. Green means completed, and you can guess for red. Not to boast my intelligence augmentation, here is an example that shall eliminate all common mistakes and thus NCR for your company. I don't just do automatic calculations and evaluation, but also include options for several other parameters within the same module. At the time of implementation, you will get material grades database for several common material grades. I am loaded with all types of mechanical and chemical properties. For example, you just select a bolt size and I display nominal stress area as specified in the standard. You have to enter only measured values. I complete remaining calculations and result evaluation to eliminate errors. If you test a tube strip specimen, then most testers calculate cross-section area using incorrect formula of width times thickness. but I calculate correctly using complex formula specified in the standard. If you test for API pipe specification, then I also cover multiple proof stress types and the tensile ratio specified as the standard. My capabilities are beyond comparison with any other currently available programs in terms of covering the range mechanical and chemical properties tests. To reduce dependency on server for non-essential users, you can capture all test inspection photos and related external documents in this section. At a click, I open Camera app on your smartphone or a tablet. You can upload photos from your computer or simply import from another record. Take as many photos as want, decide which photo to print on a report, rename them, rearrange them. If set at the client level, I automatically print 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 photos per page, or you can instruct me in this section. Similarly, upload infinite external documents such as client-supplied drawings or certificates. You can import from another record as well. To save your time, I automatically pick up file name and display as a caption. This is the most important section for your company. You can capture all time and cost data in this section, which I automatically display in your invoicing page. Enter all job-related time and cost here. You can add infinite forms for multiple days or shifts. Or simply refer to another completed record where you have already captured time cost data. You can withhold an incomplete record so that the signatory doesn't review or sign inadvertently. This function is useful when your client wants to supply additional information later to include in the report. The report reviewer can also withhold seeking further clarification from the tester inspector. I display your comments to the main tester inspector as a pop-up envelope on their screen to expedite the process. If they don't complete on the same day, then I email them the next day to remind them and continue to remind them until they action your concerns. If your client doesn't want a report, then click here so that I don't clutter your dashboard for pending reports. If your client specifies to include personnel certificates with each report, and if you have flagged this at the client contact level, then I automatically include personnel certificates relevant to the standard. If not flagged, you can instruct me here. I display only the relevant and current certificates. At the end of the job, you can take the client's signature wherein they declare that you have completed test inspection as per their instructions. If the client is not available, then you can click on Client Unavailable. I then automatically email the time cost record to the client with timestamp to prevent dispute in future wherein the client may say that your staff didn't work until such time. Simultaneously, I also email your tester inspector to prevent them entering incorrect times on their timesheet. Nobody can mislead your company when I am assisting you. Or you can click here if the job is completed at your lab facility. After saving all, I display the summary page for individual reports or this type when grouped report. Ask my boss for any other questions. When a user login, I display the following typical dashboard in the order of oldest completed first to expedite business critical processes. As a policy is the most important document in a company, I notify as an overlay envelope immediately after a policy is released or revised by the management. A user can snooze for an hour. If they read, then I record the date and time of reading. If they don't read even after 5 snoozes, then I hide menu items to mandate them to read the company policy, which shall not take more than 5 minutes. Thereafter, I notify for any incomplete records or withheld reports along with comments from the report reviewer to ensure personnel execute actions promptly. They can directly review at a single click or close. If closed, I remind them again the next day and continue reminder every day until they complete. Then they can view the entire life cycle progress of jobs, starting from commencement of test inspection to completion of records. You can also filter by reports ready to review and sign. Ready for emailing after signing, in case the signatory is too busy for additional one-click to email reports. Jobs ready for invoice in case others are invoicing. I don't display records to declutter your dashboard after a job project is invoiced. Managers can also see incomplete records or reports withheld by the reviewer. I instantly generate PDF reports. I know ISO 17025 specifies checking reports for transcription errors and calculations. As there is negligible transcription, and I do all calculations and validate 90% of data, a report can be issued immediately. If a report is not signed within 24 hours for no reason, then I express my distressed red face to the signatories. Essentially, managers can do everything from the dashboard. an example of inspection data capture, an automatic report. If the job safety analysis is already completed on the same day and site, then you can select from the displayed completed records list. As most data is pre-populated from your project job information, simply review and click in this section. Search for keywords in existing assets database in your OMS. I will import all relevant data for you to save time. Simply review and click to move to the next section. Or enter all data manually to save in your asset register. Select Inspection Instruments Asset Number. I will display the relevant essential information for you. Over here, you can either enter external inspection observations or click Inspect Later to complete after internal inspection, or click Not Applicable if you are conducting only internal inspection. I display all essential questions to prompt your inspector, and also a list of probable answers. Inspectors can select answers from linked reference libraries or enter their text by appending to the existing words. Your authorized personnel, such as a competent QA/QC staff, can add or revise to configure questions and link answers library as per your company's protocols. View another video for how to configure PVI questions and answers. At the time of delivering your OMS, I shall be preloaded with a bank of several essential and probable questions in relation to the pressure equipment inspection. I doubt if you have to add more or revise any, because these questions are essentially thinking of several experts in the industry. All these questions are essentially transcribed as inspection points on your report. Your selected answer from the list or entered statement is printed for each inspection point. If you select Not Applicable for any question or uncheck the Print checkbox, then I don't print them on your reports. You can refer to and/or upload ultrasonic thickness reports. You can import relevant conditions from the PVI reference library. And similar for the recommendations from the list. Based on the requirements of your client, regulatory body or standards, you can enter the next inspection due date. They can photograph items while they are inspecting. Open Camera app on your smartphone or tablet, or they can simply drag and drop from their computers. Over here, you can either enter internal inspection observations or click Inspect Later to complete after other work, or click Not Applicable if you are conducting only external inspection. These questionnaires are just an aid to the inspectors to remind them about inspecting several areas of the pressure equipment. Based on the intelligence augmentation, I do my best to display relevant data to field inspectors. For better inspection, I recommend you to consult your company-appointed competent person for pressure equipment inspection configuration. In this section you can upload infinite photographs, rename them, change order, upload infinite documents, decide what to include in a report. You can sign or download OMS Prepared Report PDF. Based on my intelligence augmentation, I print all relevant information on a report to ensure your client receive value addition when compared to your competitors. You can imagine how long it can take for your competitor to produce a correct report with all calculations.